Russia's been around for a long time, and there's a lot of different types of Russia, I guess you could say. We're using like the modern day version, kind of like the 1991 version. So that's why it's formed 500 years earlier. That might be a little bit confusing, but yeah, let's just try it. I almost totally missed the fact that they actually even have this, so that's good. Looks, you know, not the normal shape, but okay, that's fine. The new update to this game kind of broke this mod, but it's fine. I'm just gonna leave these new nations right here. Maybe they can cause some exciting things. I doubt it. They'll probably get taken out early. I'm hoping we're gonna see a quick Russian Alaska and maybe a little bit more. Maybe a Russian California. It all depends on like how fast they get out here and how fast, I don't know, Spain, Portugal, the British colonized the West Coast. The Ottomans tend to normally be a pretty big rival to Russia, and I'd imagine they're not gonna have a very good game since Russia's already super sexy. I think they're the #1 nation in the world right now. Yeah, okay, they are, just making sure. By almost double Ming, but let's see if they can hold on to this, because obviously they're gonna have a lot of neighbors and a lot of enemies. And I always like to see what's gonna happen to culture and faith. Obviously that is gonna be a part of this, but not as like thick as I thought, since a lot of this stuff is like wasteland up here. Either way, I don't know if that's gonna get taken out or expanded. Something's gonna happen. That might be a new record. Ming, already dead. It's like they're not even trying anymore. We all know what's gonna happen. Might as well get it over with. I also feel like Burgundy collapsing and getting eaten up by someone close by is happening a little bit more. This time, Austria. We saw Spain in one of the last videos, so that's probably gonna give France a real tough time. And there's also a couple rebellions in Russia that have been a little successful. Let's hope these people haven't been reading any Karl Marx fan fiction yet. I'm gonna assume the Scandinavian nations are probably gonna get taken out quick. The Russian AI likes to go after these places, but I don't know. Denmark starts strong. I think they lost Sweden though, so probably not in this scenario. But then there's this as well. Poland, Lithuania, they are usually the biggest rival, but it might be a little bit too late. Russia's huge, and I don't know exactly. I mean, a lot of this stuff isn't developed very well in Siberia, so who knows exactly how much power they have. Timmy's the next nation to blow up. Now we have Sistan, something like that. I feel like there's always a new nation to come from here that I've honestly never seen before. Oh no, not the Mamluks. Please, Mamluks. Can you guys just calm down? I think the Ottomans are gonna have a difficult game, and we're gonna see them out colonizing once again. Castile is married Aragon, and Spain is formed, and I believe they still have control over Naples. Yes, they do. So, oh, and England. Oh, and France is gone. It's only been 100 years. Nice. I guess that 100 Years' War was pretty devastating, but I'm just way more interested in Pope France. Papal France is something I'm all about. Also, Austria already struggling to keep all this territory. The Dutch already formed up, although they're struggling a little bit. That's good. I would love to see a couple of Netherlands colonies in the New World. Bam! Sweden already pretty much forming Scandinavia, and they're probably gonna do it too. They only got like 1 or 2 more provinces to go. Norway will be fine in Iceland, but how did they do that so fast? Again, I thought they'd get taken out soon, but I guess the Russian AI is a little distracted. Oh, yeah, they are. They're going after a couple of the hordes, which is smart. Just take them out real quick, because those are probably your biggest threats. Or maybe not. I don't know. What happened here? Something clearly bad happened. Did they lose a war? They might have lost at least 1 war. I love seeing nations from this part of the world get their stuff together, because they have time before the Europeans come and take everything, and they might be able to fight back. I think they need a lot more land than just this, though. Kilwa already going to continental Africa and getting a couple of the coastlines, although they gotta be careful, because here comes the people right here. Portugal, already in South Africa. South America, by the way, is looking like it might be entirely Spanish. No one is here, even trying. I mean, there's still a lot of coastline up this way. I don't know, but Spanish Peru, Spanish Brazil, and Spanish La Plata, that's a lot. Portugal seems to be a little distracted with the Caribbean and Mexico, and I'm sure the British out here already pretty soon getting Canada started. And there it is. Isn't it beautiful? Let's see if they can keep a hold of it. Please don't sell it off. They're actually getting pretty deep into North America so far, getting into like California and Oregon territory, and they're running up against Spain now, which might be a little problem. Back in Europe, France has been completely killed off, and we also have the Dutch still going strong. Naples was annexed, and the Pope still got all their territory. Sweden's doing well, and I think that might be because they're allied to Russia. Yes, they are. That's a pretty big deal, especially because the Commonwealth formed, and the Commonwealth are about to eat all of the Ottoman Empire. So this is actually gonna be a pretty big rival, actually. This might ruin everything. What has Russia been doing this whole time? It looks like they've barely expanded. The heck? I mean, they've taken some horde territory, but that's it. Holy Roman Empire is still going pretty strong, although Austria kind of collapsed. Bohemia has taken up the reins a bit, and of course, there's probably some faith issues happening here in the Empire. Oh yeah, definitely. That is kind of a big deal. Also, kind of Orthodox, not doing so hot in the Balkan territory. I guess it's fine because they got all this, but That's weird. What happened? Well, I know what happened. The Commonwealth happened. But this is also a pretty big, sexy Venice. I really want to see Venice do good, but for some reason, Venice never makes it to the end. Like, they always collapse. The Strait of Hormuz, or Hormuz, just the nation, I guess, not the strait, has taken a lot of Persian territory, and as long as they're cool with the Mamluks, they might be alright. The Mamluks are taking out Ethiopia currently, which kind of sucks. I like seeing a strong Ethiopian empire, but that's not gonna happen. Nations in sub-Saharan Africa already starting to get kind of taken out. Norway a little bit out here, that's surprising. And down this way, we got Sweden in South Africa. That's a little new. The British going after Australia, nothing too crazy there. They'll probably take New Zealand as well. Surprised the Mamluks aren't here. Well, actually they are. Of course they are. Are you gonna let them take your favorite continent, guys? I know you don't want that. Now, because Ming exploded so fast, I'm wondering if someone can unite this territory and get things together before the Europeans come. I mean, they're definitely here. They're gonna get here pretty soon, but can we get like a new China to form up and not have all this stuff get taken out? Florida men taking the entire east coast of the US. That's terrifying. Their armies are just so insane, you really can't stop them. Newfoundland also looking pretty good, waiting for Canada to form maybe out of this if they ever get their independence. And it is starting to look like Spain will have a complete monopoly over South America. Or almost, at least. I mean, someone might eventually get here. This is the Dutch, I believe, but that's likely to get kicked out. Oh, and the Netherlands, they got taken out by Munster. And also, Great Britain still has a pretty huge, strong grip over France. I thought they'd maybe end up losing it by now. Why does this nation always fall apart? The Big Blue Blob has been terrible lately. Maybe this is Russia's problem. Maybe they've been dealing with rebellions this entire time. I don't know if these people were trying to form the Soviet Union 500 years early, but that kind of seems like it's gonna be the case. Australia has officially joined the game, but they won't be united because, of course, the Egyptians are kind of here. Also, they're up here as well, Spain, and the Scandinavians. Oh, Sweden finally formed Scandinavia. All right. Yeah, all right, thank you. I was actually gonna say something about that, but I didn't want to sound really stupid. I wanted Russia to colonize Australia. I thought that was on the table, but at least they got this. And they also got something in Africa, so that's great. That is beautiful. Let's see if they keep going. Ouch. Okay, so Russian Alaska has kind of been cut off by the Scandinavians. They've formed Cascadia. Also, Spanish California. That's gonna give them trouble. I thought that was gonna be a problem, but it's not really. Because boom. I didn't even know they were in a personal union, so that's why Scandinavia has formed. I think my theory would have been right, but they must have got this somehow. Now they gotta hold on to that though, because they definitely might break away. And as soon as I say that, I come back to this. Not only did they break away, but they broke off. They broke their game. Who did this exactly? Is it partially Japan? It is looking like the Japanese probably caused a little bit of issues, but definitely not a majority. Yeah, I'm assuming this was caused entirely by the Commonwealth. Look at how much territory they took. Maybe they helped Scandinavia get their independence, but then they just took it stuff for themselves and then took more Russian lands. I don't know. I mean, damn, I gotta admit, that is a pretty amazing comeback since Russia started off with so much land and the Commonwealth started like normal, so they had to eat up all this stuff and then still compete. This is just the first time we've ever formed a nation super early and then they just failed. At least they still kind of have this. Kind of, for now, although Sweden is trying to, I guess, make Cascadia a little bit larger. There's a new Alaska, a British Alaska. That might be the only Alaska left at this game. Newfoundland is here, Florida's here, Portuguese, Louisiana, and Mexico, things like that. Yeah, North America's looking kind of normal. South America isn't, though. South America's looking crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen one country dominate this continent. I mean, like I said, the Dutch are still here, but they're gonna lose that. There's no way they just allow them to keep this stuff. Bosnia is once again formed in the Balkans, and maybe that just forms out of like the fall of Venice. I think that happens a lot too. And HRE, definitely not looking so hot. Although Saxony has a part of Scandinavia. And, well, yeah, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. I don't know how they did that, but that's pretty amazing. Yeah, I forgot to mention this. China is now just Spanish and Mamlukian. The Mamluks didn't get all of Australia. They got the Philippines. They did get a part of Australia, but since they didn't have their favorite continent, they just decided to grab a bunch of Chinese stuff. Canada just got their independence from the British, and Louisiana from Portugal. But just Louisiana, not the Mexico part, weirdly. And now Florida can really flourish, I guess. They're having fun. And Spain has formed the perfect Spanish colony. Game over. We should probably just give the win to them. This is amazing. They destroyed the Dutch, got the natives out, and it's just all theirs. Portugal and Spain have actually had a really good game. Look at all this stuff they still have in Africa, although they probably won't get this stuff. The Mamluks still very powerful. Yeah, especially with all this Chinese territory, because they definitely took a lot out of Spain. Also, the Japanese aren't as good. I don't know if the British are giving them trouble. Who knows? Then there's these guys. Mazan Aran. Azan Aran? I don't know, but they could be forming Persia. That's probably terrible pronunciation. I'm sorry. Another first for EU4, at least as far as I can remember, Louisiana got this stuff. Louisiana got a part of South Africa, an independent colony from the New World coming back to Africa to get something. I don't know, I really like that. Oman's also down here too, which is a little weird. Oman didn't even exist not that long ago. And I'm assuming that's because we saw the collapse of the Mamluks. Well, I was wrong. They clearly probably faced 2 threats from Spain and the Commonwealth. Jeez, Commonwealth just taking over everything, but they've got a new threat. Look at Delhi. How did they do that? Spanish China has won the war for China over the Mamluks. British still have some stuff here, and Japanese kind of holding on, but they did lose a lot of their stuff in Siberia. What is this? City of what? Australia is united. They don't have their independence, but that's good. They also got New Zealand, and this area of the world still pretty mixed. Dang, look, Portugal ended up getting a lot of the Philippines. But besides all that, I just love that the Pope ended up having maybe one of his greatest games ever. Look at this. And he might even get a little bit more. So the British finally got kicked out of like modern day France, and the Pope got a lot of that. I don't even know how the Commonwealth got all of this. They must have moved around the HRE at one point. North America more than likely will end up being controlled by Canada. They're always cornered off by the North. You can't take them out and they'll just slowly, well, I don't know, they might struggle against Spain. Spain's so powerful, because how do you even fight an entire continent like this? Spain ended up winning, Commonwealth got second. That's kind of surprising. It's even more surprising that Delhi didn't do better, but the Pope ended up getting 4th. That's crazy. So the British fell apart at the end. Portugal also fell apart. Canada, Mamluks. Muscovite culture still remains in most of this land. Just so odd that they collapsed. Oh, Orthodox has been taken out. Jeez, yeah, this is like the first time we've done one of these. Oh, HRE's not around anymore. This is the first time we've ever done a video like this where the nation gets taken out. But like I said, it was tough because they had a lot of neighbors, and then they had a very terrifying neighbor. I don't know, just not very lucky. I guess it's a good thing that Russia didn't form. Well, I don't know. It would be pretty interesting to see the Papal States have this massive empire, even like centuries into the future. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Big thanks to the Spooktober patrons: ElphieC, Eijah Senpai, Ruserification, SwissAargau, Maxy G, Bonny, Famme, CooterDonkey, MisterPERKELE, BradenH, Mega Fatboy 2.0, the Hentai Lover, Millatime, Sleeper56, BirthdayDaddy, BallinLikeStalin, Furry, Cruz, Vincent S, Public Education, ElphieC, A Mikey, thank you.